Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I will be talking about all the books I read in December, and I am so excited because I reached my imaginary goal that I never thought would happen, and I read 100 books in 2019. So going into the month of December, I had to read 11 books to reach that goal, and I knew that any normal month I could read 11 books, but I recently, after like a year, got back into K-pop, so things got crazy, but I managed to do it thanks to a really great manga series that I read, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But let's talk about the 11 things that I read in December. The first book I read in December was Opposition by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is book 5 and the final book in the Lux series, which I have been loving, but unfortunately this was my least favorite book in the series. I just really didn't feel inclined to pick it up, and in my notes I felt like everything was really rushed, and honestly, trying to talk about it now, I can't remember all that happened in this book. Like, I don't know how to talk about it because I can't remember it that well. I just remember it was kind of making me feel slumpy, and I just didn't want to pick it up as much, but I still gave it 3 out of 5 stars because I really do love the characters so much, and like, the first book in this series was one of my favorite books of 2019, so 3 out of 5 stars. So the next things I read are all part of the same series, and that is volumes 1 through 8 in the Full Metal Alchemist manga series, which I have been completely obsessed with. So I told my brother that I needed to read 11 books in December to get to 100 books, and he was like, hey, you should read my Full Metal Alchemist volumes. So he had the first 7 or something, I think, but then he like started ordering more and more so I could like try to read them all. So in December I read the first 8 volumes, and I am completely obsessed. Like, it is currently my favorite manga series, so I'm gonna go through quickly and talk about my thoughts for each one. So for the first volume, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I just really loved how this opened up the entire series. So if you don't know, it follows 2 brothers who are alchemists. They're actually like 14 and 15, I believe, and something in their past happened to them, and it was really tragic, and they're trying to fix their mistakes, so they go on a hunt for the Philosopher's Stone in order to fix these mistakes. I just really loved it. I loved the brothers, Edward and Alphonse. They're so great, and I love the chemistry and the brotherhood between them. I also really love the art style, and I loved how it was just so fast right from the beginning. A lot of manga is, but this one was just like, you were in it right away. For volume 2, I gave this one 4 stars solely because I enjoyed the first one more. I still really loved this one. Also, my Japanese name was in this volume, so that was fun to see. But yes, 4 to 5 stars, loved it. Volume 3, I gave 5 out of 5 stars. I really love this one because you get to see more of the other brother, Alphonse, but we're also introduced to 2 new characters, Winry and Dr. Panako, and I actually really loved them. So after this one, I was really excited to hopefully see more of those new characters. For volume number 4, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars as well, and this volume actually made me cry. Volume number 5, I gave 5 out of 5 stars, of course, and this is Winry on the cover, so for like half of this volume, we really got to see a lot of Winry, which I absolutely love her. She's really awesome, and she's a mechanic, which was really cool. Also, you get to see more of the boys' past in this one, so I feel like this book was really pivotal in the series, and you got to learn more about what happened to them and why they are on their current mission. For volume number 6, I of course gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Now this one, you dive completely into the brothers' backstory, which I absolutely loved, seeing them become alchemists, because the whole alchemy subject is really cool, and these brothers are some of the most talented alchemists in the world, and they are very young. For volume number 7, 5 out of 5 stars once again. This one ended on probably the biggest cliffhanger in the series. Manga volumes tend to end on big cliffhangers, but this one, I finished it and I was like, what? Like, I have so many questions, and at this point we only had the first 7, so my brother had to go and order the next ones right away so I could have those questions answered. And finally, for Full Metal Alchemist, I finished volume 8, which I gave 5 out of 5 stars. This one had a really big plot twist, and we had some questions that were answered, and my mind was just completely blown. I absolutely love the series, and I cannot wait to continue. The next book I read was Shadows by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Yes, I'm holding up opposition, but Shadows is in the latter half of this book, and it is a prequel novella to the entire series, so it follows Dawson and Bethany and their relationship. I loved getting to see more of the relationship because the Bethany we know in the series isn't how she used to be, but I feel like their relationship is very similar to Damon and Katie's, so I did not feel like it was distinct enough to like differentiate from that relationship, so I felt like I was reading the same thing. But I still give this one 4 out of 5 stars. I felt like it had enough angst in it, and we got to see Damon before Katie, which was a lot of fun. And the last book I read in 2019, the last book I read in December, and the last book I read in that decade was This Christmas Town by Donna Vanalier. I really enjoyed this one, and this was the Christmas story I was hoping it would be. So this follows a girl named Lauren who grew up in foster homes, and so she's in her 20s and she's alone for Christmas, so she puts an ad on Craigslist for a family for Christmas. So one day she's driving home from work and she sees this accident, and it's a hit and run, so she gets out to help, and her life gets tangled up in this woman that she helped out, and so she ends up volunteering for a children's Christmas marathon choir, and it's just cute. It's your typical like Hallmark movie cuteness, and I absolutely loved it. But this one focused more on family than relationship, because you hear Christmas story and you think Hallmark romance, but this one was completely about family, and I really loved it. The only downside for me was there were so many characters, it was hard at first to keep track of, but in the end I started sorting them out, but it was a little too late at that point. But I still gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I thought it was very cute. So these are all the books that I read in the month of December. Let me know your favorite book that you read and what your goal was for 2019, and if you reached it. And if not, that's okay, because a book is still a book, even if you read one for 2019. But yes, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my social media links will be down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!